News time is 8 minutes after 8 o'clock on this Monday. Top of the morning from the newsroom of Regional Radio and DeWittDailyNews.com. I'm Seth Lawrence with this expanded local newscast streaming to Facebook and YouTube, brought to you by Peterson Insurance, your Pekin Insurance agents in Clinton. At the last DeWitt County Board meeting, the DeWitt County Sheriff's Office was approved to purchase 2 drones. Sheriff Mike Walker indicates his department, as well as the Clinton Fire Department, has had to receive assistance from other agencies to use a drone. He explains having their own drone could have deployed earlier in the case or used more often.
We've had some incidents over the last year or so where we've had to call in a drone from other agencies, either the state or the other counties, to search for people or do different things. And we've probably done that 4 or 5 times, whether it was us or a fire department. And then we probably had 3 or 4 other incidents that, had we had our own drone, we probably would have deployed it to help get some things done. And one of the things that really brought it to light was the shooting that we had down in Kenny. Mm-hmm. We had to wait for some resources, and that was one of the resources that was used to search the area, search buildings, to make sure the offender wasn't still on site, so they could approach safely. So after that happened, I talked to the board and let them know that I was going to be researching that and probably be coming to them prior to the end of the fiscal year to see if we could do something, and talk to the county manager. She said there's money in the budget, out of this year's budget, FY23, to be able to do that.
After searching for drones, the sheriff was advised to follow suit with what other agencies have done with purchasing 2 drones of different sizes. The drones are equipped with heat imaging and GPS technology, with the purchase total of around $16,000.
Actually, we're purchasing 2 drones through a company out of California. One is a bigger drone that can use out in the fields, in open areas. It has the heat imaging. It has some GPS technology to where, say, we have a suspect that runs into a cornfield, maybe he's got something of evidentiary value, and we see him toss that. We can use this drone to GPS mark where that piece of evidence was left and continue to follow that suspect to wherever he's going. So it's pretty good technology. And when I was talking to the guy, he said one of the things a lot of agencies are doing is they're doing a package deal where they get the bigger one and then they get a smaller drone that you can use to search buildings and houses and stuff. So if we got somebody we don't know if they're in there, rather than sending deputies in and putting a person at danger, we can send a drone in. If they're not in there, then we can do a more thorough search of the residents. If they're in there, we know they're in there, and we can take the appropriate measures. So it was a little over $16,000 total.
The Sheriff's Department will train a couple of deputies to be drone pilots in addition to being used by the Sheriff's Department. Sheriff Walker says the drones will be available for use by other local first responders. He notes there are a variety of ways the drones can be deployed to serve the community and solve cases faster.
We're going to get a few pilots in the office, and not only can we use it for law enforcement, if fire departments need to use it to document fires or whatever, and then talk to Micah Gallardo from EMA. Another thing we can use it for is once we get it, we can go out to some of these small towns like Wapella, DeWitt, those things, fly it over there and get before pictures of the village. And then when a tornado or something comes through like we had in June, then we can fly it back over that and have some after pictures, and it will help us get some of those federal funds for the damages. So I think there's a lot of uses that we can use it for. We get a little kid that runs out into a cornfield, we can't find him, or a dementia patient. With the heat imaging, we can fly that over there, and we can get that thing probably deployed within a half hour compared to having to wait for McLean, Macon, Logan counties or the state to get here.
Sheriff Walker anticipates having the drones by the end of January and will begin training pilots once they're received. After Friday, the DeWitt County Friendship Center will have a new executive director. Paula Giles has been the executive director for 6 years and will serve her final day in the role on Friday. She looks back on all the additions and renovations that they've accomplished during her tenure, and over the 6 years of the Friendship Center has fundraised over $200,000.
Keeps the doors open. I don't know how to say it. We did so much fundraising over the years. I was telling Lori, over the years that I've been there, we've got a new van, we got a new parking lot, we got a security system, we got a brand new ADA back door, got a brand new roof, and it was over $200,000 that we raised there to get that done. Yeah, and during COVID, we remodeled, so it's brand new paint and all that stuff, so it's good to go.
Giles says a highlight of her career was the numerous trips she arranged and went on. She notes many people who did not come to the center daily still wanted to go on those trips.
I really like taking people on trips. Like, we go daily trips, we go to theaters, we go all over. I take them over to Indiana to the Beef House, we go down to St. Louis, we go to Belleville. They like to go because they need to be socialized. But they like that, and so I like to do that. So, I mean, there were times, like last December, I had 4 shows lined up, plus the fundraiser, plus the Christmas thing. By December 16th, I was totally exhausted and took a week off. And they like to get out away from the center, too, you know. A lot of people that go on our trips don't come to the center, you know, especially the big trip. But it's okay because people are reaching out and doing things that help the center. So you pay about $100, $110 a day for your trip, and you can't get that anywhere else.
Giles remembers when her car was totaled at the Friendship Center, and she was able to fundraise and get a new parking lot for the Friendship Center within 6 weeks. She says it gave her a sense of perspective about how much the center needed a new parking lot.
Well, my van got totaled there. That's why we have a new parking lot. I had to put everything into perspective when on a Wednesday during bingo, when people were coming in and somebody slams into the back of my van and moves at 30 foot, it could have killed one of my seniors, and I was done. I was so angry. So within the next 6 weeks, we had a new parking lot in the back. I was over it. We were procrastinating on it, and we couldn't have some of our seniors get hit like that. That would have been horrible. No, but that highlight of my van getting fixed, nobody's going to get hurt, hopefully. Hopefully. Don't cross that street. It's a main drag. Don't cross it.
Giles will miss the many seniors she's met and the working relationships with her coworkers.
We've had so much fun. Like the admin assistant that we have now is Kim Roberts. Her and her husband, Larry, are so very helpful. They do all the decorating in the place, all the decorating. They help with every fundraiser. He's our chairman of the board also. And it just works. We've built a wonderful relationships. I think my grandkids think they're another set of grandparents, and you should see them. They all sit. It's just wonderful, and that's the best one so far.
Tune in to Regional Radio tomorrow as we introduce Lori Hireman as the new DeWitt County Friendship Center Executive Director. The state continues to celebrate the improvements to highways, bridges, and overpasses. A 20-mile project on Interstate 57 was complete last week from south of Chicago all the way to the 294. And in the Quad Cities, the bridge deck of Interstate 280 has been completely replaced. Governor J.B. Pritzker says the Rebuild Illinois program continues to make things better across the state.
When we make smart investments in the roadways that working families and businesses rely upon, we're constructing a better future for this entire region. One where parents and their children can commute with confidence, and where new factories and distribution centers are choosing to locate in Illinois so that they can reliably ship their products all across this nation.
The state says through 4 years of Rebuild Illinois, more than 5,300 miles of roadways have been improved. District scheduling for high school football is up for a vote by the IHSA member schools over the next few weeks. Last week, the IHSA announced its legislative commission moved to advance 14 bylaw proposals to a vote by the membership. One of them is a proposal that would establish district scheduling in football. Friday Night Drive's Steve Susi has been closely following the issue.
I honestly expect this vote to be very, very close. And as I kind of filter out information and talk to people, I understand, why there are people that support this. I personally think if we got the right people in a room, I think we could take the current system, make some tweaks to it, and I think come out with a better outcome for everybody. And that's what I'm most interested in personally, is finding a way, because we're never going to satisfy everybody. It's not going to happen. There's always going to be some people that want it done a different way or want it done that way. I would just like a greater majority of people to be happier with what we're doing, because right now, amongst football coaches, I think it's the acceptance toward the current system is probably somewhere in the 70-30 range. Administrators, it might be a little shorter than that. But there's a loud, even in the sense when I say that, there's a very loud minority of some that are really pushing for this because it fixes their individual problems. And I get that. But in the grand scheme of things, I don't know if it's for the greater good of everybody.
The voting period for the proposal runs through the 18th of December. Get the latest in local news anytime at DeWittDailyNews.com.